The funeral was over. Everyone had left. But when Emily opened her dead husband's old work locker, a phone inside suddenly started ringing. And the caller ID said, "Don't trust Emily." Emily froze. Her hands started shaking. Because she was Emily. The cold room suddenly felt smaller. The air felt heavy. And deep inside her heart, fear slowly began to grow. 3 days earlier, Emily had buried her husband, Daniel. Daniel was a simple man. Quiet, honest, hardworking. He worked night shifts at a shipping company near the harbor. They were not rich, but they were happy. Or, at least, Emily thought they were. After Daniel died in a terrible car accident, her whole world collapsed. She cried every night.
She stopped eating.
She even slept holding his old jacket because it still smelled like him. But one thing kept bothering her. The police said Daniel lost control of the car during heavy rain. Yet Daniel was an excellent driver. He never drank, never drove fast. Something felt wrong. Still, everyone told her the same thing. It was an accident. You need to move on. Daniel is gone. So, Emily tried. 3 days after the funeral, Daniel's company called her. They said his locker still had personal belongings inside. They asked her to collect them. Emily drove there alone. The building was old and dark. The manager walked her quietly to the locker room. "I'm sorry for your loss," he said softly. Then he left her alone. Emily slowly opened locker number 214. Inside were Daniel's work gloves, his lunchbox, and an old black phone she had never seen before. That was strange. Daniel only used one phone. Confused, she picked it up. And suddenly, the phone rang. Emily almost dropped it. Her breathing stopped when she looked at the screen. Don't trust Emily. Her heart pounded hard. Who would send this? And why did the message mention her own name? With trembling fingers, she answered the call. There was silence for a few seconds. Then a weak male voice whispered, "Emily, if you're hearing this, I'm probably dead." It was Daniel. Emily burst into tears instantly. Daniel? But it was not a live call. It was a recorded message. Daniel sounded terrified. "Listen carefully. I found something dangerous at work. Someone is smuggling illegal money through the shipping company. I copied files onto this phone. If anything happens to me, it was not an accident." Emily covered her mouth. Her entire body felt numb. Daniel continued. "And Emily, if anyone tells you not to investigate, especially my brother Mark, don't believe him." The message ended. Emily stood frozen. Mark? Daniel's older brother? That made no sense. Mark had helped her through everything after Daniel's death. He brought groceries, paid funeral costs, stayed beside her every day. Why would Daniel suspect him? Emily quickly unlocked the phone. Luckily, there was no password. Inside were photos of shipping documents, bank transfers, and videos recorded secretly at night inside the warehouse. One video changed everything. It showed Mark talking to two unknown men near large cargo containers. One man handed Mark a thick envelope full of cash. Emily's stomach turned. "No," she whispered. Suddenly, footsteps echoed behind her. Emily jumped and turned around. Mark stood at the locker room door. His face looked pale. "You came here alone?" he asked calmly. Emily quickly hid the phone behind her back. "Yes, just collecting Daniel's things." Mark stared at her silently. Then his eyes slowly moved toward the black phone in her hand. For 1 second, his expression changed.
Fear.
Real fear. "Emily," he said carefully, "give me that phone." Her heart started racing. Why? Mark stepped closer. Because Daniel misunderstood things. Emily backed away. "You lied to me." Mark sighed deeply. "It's complicated." "No," Emily shouted. "My husband died. And now I find videos of you taking money." Mark looked around nervously. Then he whispered, "You need to leave.
Right now."
Before Emily could answer, a loud crash echoed outside the building. Then came shouting. Mark suddenly grabbed her arm. "We don't have time." He pulled her through a back exit into the parking lot. 2 black SUVs were speeding toward the building. Emily panicked. "Who are they?" Mark opened his car door quickly. "The people Daniel was investigating." Emily stared at him in shock. You're working with them? Mark shook his head.
No.
I was pretending to. Emily didn't know what to believe anymore. But then, one of the SUVs stopped nearby. A man stepped out holding a gun. Emily screamed. Mark pushed her into the car. Drive, he yelled. They sped away through the rainy streets. Emily cried uncontrollably. Everything felt unreal. The gunshots, the lies, Daniel's secret phone. Mark kept driving fast. Finally, they reached an abandoned motel outside town. Emily immediately pointed the phone at him. Tell me the truth. Mark looked exhausted. Then he finally spoke. Daniel discovered the company was being used to wash dirty money for criminals. He wanted to expose them. Emily listened silently. I tried helping him secretly, Mark continued. That's why I met those men. I wanted evidence. Then why didn't you tell the police? Mark laughed bitterly. Because some police officers were involved too. Emily's blood ran cold. Mark lowered his head. The night Daniel died, he called me terrified. He said someone was following him. Emily's eyes filled with tears again. I told him to drive to my place, Mark whispered. But he never arrived. Silence filled the room. Then Emily quietly asked, So, Daniel was murdered? Mark nodded slowly. Emily broke down crying. For several minutes, neither of them spoke. Then suddenly, the black phone buzzed again. Both of them looked down. A new message appeared. We know where you are. Emily's face turned white. Mark immediately looked outside the motel window. Headlights appeared in the distance. They found us, he whispered. Panic exploded inside the room. Mark grabbed the phone and pulled out a small memory card hidden inside it. This is the real evidence, he said. If they get this, we're dead. The headlights came closer. Doors slammed outside. Emily's breathing became fast and uneven. Mark grabbed her shoulders. Listen to me carefully. Run through the back door. Don't stop. What about you? Mark gave a sad smile. I'll slow them down. Emily shook her head violently. No. But suddenly, the motel room door exploded open. Men rushed inside. Mark pushed Emily toward the back exit. Run. Emily sprinted into the dark rain. Behind her, she heard shouting, crashing furniture, then gunshots. Tears mixed with rain as she kept running through the empty road. She never looked back. 2 weeks later, the entire story exploded across national news. Multiple company executives were arrested. Corrupt police officers disappeared. Millions of illegal dollars were discovered. And all because Emily delivered Daniel's hidden memory card to federal investigators. But Mark was never found. Some people believe he died that night. Others think he escaped. Emily still doesn't know the truth. But every year, on the night Daniel died, a single black phone appears outside her front door. No message. No caller ID. Only one short voicemail. A familiar voice saying, Still don't trust anyone, Emily. And every single time, the call ends with silence.